The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Hello, Cowboys Nation. Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Aisha Morrison. We've got Jess Navarez and we got Brianna Aldridge in studio.
Come on, Carol.
Of course, to talk about the free agency that's happening right now. The latest, Javonte Turpin. Can we talk about it? He's finalizing or coming into a close onto a 3-year, $18 million deal to be the highest paid special teams player in the NFL.
Yep.
Can we just talk about how much he deserves this?
Yup.
Ladies?
Excited.
Go ahead, Jess.
I'm stoked. Look, I was nervous. Let me say, I was nervous because seeing how things went yesterday, I was like, oh, I just have to temper my expectations a lot. But I am glad that they had enough cap space, enough wiggle room to get Javonte Turpin paid, but also paid a very, very well-deserved amount. Who else is doing anything better on special teams than Javonte Turpin? Literally nobody. So give him the money he deserves, give him a payday, and he's earned it. And I think also this solidifies you're finally going to get to see him in a well-deserved wide receiver position. Yep. I'm excited. Happy news after yesterday.
Agreed. I think it's shaping to be. It's exciting because, like you said, the special teams, they're putting the emphasis on it, right? They're retaining. We didn't really know what it was going to look like with Bones leaving, so it's exciting to see they're keeping some of those pieces. Obviously, Turpin is a big piece of that, but piggyback off what Jess said, this is something that brings a little relief because he is a pass catcher. He showed glimpses of it. It was almost like frustration at some parts of the season because, like, oh my gosh, he just did this. He's getting involved. Why are they not utilizing him more? So very excited to see how this looks in the shoddy era, if you will. And then also one thing that I was hoping for in this free agency, which I kind of was feeling wasn't going to happen, but there's been so much talk since last season, who's going to help CeeDee Lamb on that other side. So this just shows where that is not going to go, but where it is going to go at the same time, if that makes sense. So, yeah, shout out to him to get his bag, and he's here, and he's staying, and love to see it.
Yeah, I agree with I hate using this word, but the continuity that they're trying to keep on the special team side of things. But looking forward to what this offense might become and how Clayton Adams likes to run the ball. We got to see a little bit more of Javonte Turpin coming out of the backfield, things like that. I would like to see how he incorporates him into the intermediate game and see if they can get some good receiving options for him as well there. I'm also looking forward to him having the opportunity as a guy that is still developing as a wide receiver to have the coaching from Junior Adams that will be coaching the wide receivers this year. We've seen him have success with a plethora of different receivers, different body types, different skill set. So him getting in here and having that opportunity as well. But most importantly, I always get them mixed up. Is it USFL?
The UFL.
It's now the UFL.
It's now the UFL.
UFL.
Yeah.
So
they merged.
They merged. Thank you for correcting me. But the UFL to NFL pipeline. And that this is becoming, I think it is smart. It's good for guys to see that sometimes your career can be derailed. You can have injuries. You can have things happen. Yep. But he is a testament to other players that if you do put in the work and things like that, people will recruit. They'll see you. They'll scout you. And that you can have contracts in the NFL, that you can revive your career here. So I think what he's doing it should be encouraging for maybe some younger players or other players that have had those type of things happen to them as well.
And now special teams coordinator Nick Sorensen probably has the easiest, I'd say, little job here because he's got Trent Sieg, who just agreed to a 3-year, $4.45 million deal. That includes $3.1 million guaranteed. Ka-ching. He's got Brandon Aubrey, of course, returning, Brian Anger returning, C.J. Goodwin. So the core, good win with this special team.
Win.
He's got the core of a special teams unit back. So here. So that's some good news for him. But switching over, just give it a little update on what the Cowboys have done so far in free agency before we split it up and talk about the offense. And in our next segment, we'll break down defensively the new additions and who has left. The additions so far, we've got running back Javonte Williams, offensive lineman Rob Jones, defensive tackle Solomon Thomas. Returning so far, we've got Oso Digizua, CJ Goodwin, Wanye Thomas, Brock Hoffman, Tyrus Wheat, Marquise Bell.
Ring the bell.
That's why I just gave it to you.
Thank
Trent C, Cavante Turpin, and then the losses.
Oh,
I wish we had
my
like a,
Shaylas.
I know. We got like a little sound effect on this one because it's kind of sad, like a little funeral. Jordan Lewis.
That's why I'm
Jazzy
black
needs to-
today.
I am too.
We're in
Jazzy-
mourning.
We need like something jazz.
Jazzy needs
Jazzy,
to
we
get
need
the
sad music.
A little violin.
Yeah.
There we go.
She needs to get the
Jordan Lewis, Chuma Udoga, and Chauncey Golston. Like I said, we're going to talk about the offense first, new additions, and the losses. We'll start with Javonte Williams. He just signed a 1-year, $3 million deal that can move up to $3.5 million with incentives. What do y'all think, I guess, caught the eye of the Cowboys? Because when you talk about Rico Dowdle, he obviously proved that he deserved to be back here in Dallas. It's unfortunate that he's not because of the way that he overcame so much.
Are we
here.
sure? Are we sure
Well,
that's
as
what's
of right now,
implied?
it's what it's implied.
The writing's on the wall.
That's what
Yeah.
what it feels like, but
Not
obviously
confirmed.
not confirmed.
I wanted
Yeah.
to make sure because
My bad. Yeah.
Anything is
that's
possible.
Good. That's good.
That's fair.
Anything
it's
is
fair.
possible. But as of right now,
We can-
Okay.
the
we
looks
can
of
dream.
it does not seem like Rico Dowdle will be back. Like I was saying, it's unfortunate because he overcame so much in terms of like injuries, play time, and having to battle with Zeke, Tony Pollard, Malik Davis at one point. So best of luck to him if he does not return here in Dallas. But yeah, just thoughts on Javonte Williams. What do you feel like caught the eye of the Cowboys? Anybody got that? Okay. Or it could be.
You want me
it
to
could
be
nothing.
honest?
The price
Yeah.
tag?
Yes, I was
The
about to
price
say.
tag. That's
That's
what
a
caught
big
the
part.
eye.
coming
big
off an
part.
ACL, perfect for me.
Huh.
That's how they do it.
That
I mean,
price tag.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Hey.
Rico Dowdle outpriced himself to stay in Dallas, and that was something we knew was probably likely going into the season. And with the deep running back draft class that's about to come up, you kind of just saw it coming. This was such a Cowboys move because it was cheap. It's not really gonna do much to you except give you a good running back competition. You're likely still gonna draft a running back in the early rounds. So at this
Better.
point,
have to.
it's
Non-negotiable.
it's just
Literally.
What you got?
yeah, that's what it is. It's you're averaging 3.7 yards per carry, have receiving tendencies. However, just not the same after that ACL injury. Takes about a year or 2 years to get back to a groove, a new normal for you after that. We've seen that here. We've experienced that with players here as well. It was a very Cowboys-esque move. So wasn't surprised, but honestly, running back room competition seems like another fun way to spend our training camp. Yeah.
No. What you got, Mama?
I have a question. How
Go
old is
for it.
Rico?
27, right? I think he's
27?
27, 28.
Okay.
We're gonna
27
check just to
sounds
make
right.
sure.
27
While you
sounds
check
right.
that sounds about right.
He's
I
still
didn't-
young in
Yeah.
running back
Yeah.
years for sure.
26.
Okay.
And
There
not
we
a
go.
lot of traction on his body, given that he has had to sit
Injuries.
multiple years for
Yes,
injuries. So
yes.
he's has
Fair.
better years ahead of him, I feel like.
I will say the first thing besides the money. Okay, we the boy. What was it? 3 mil.
3 million.
1 year
up to
deal.
1 year, 3
3.5.
million.
So 24 years old, youngest running back free agent that was available. I'll put that there. 24 years old, right? I'm a little biased only in the fact that I was actually covering the Denver Broncos the year that he was drafted, and the hype was real. When the man hit the field, I believe Melvin Gordon was his biggest. Melvin Gordon had a lot of fumbling issues, right?
I remember that.
Javonte Williams did not. Yeah. So he was exciting in the way he was a violent runner.
Very
like very physical, 5'10" guy, not the hugest guy, but you could not tell. Like I saw him manhandle big boys and getting the yardage. He almost hit that 1,000 mark in his rookie season. Now, I was heartbroken when he did the following season, the ACL. That was 2022. Seeing players, myself recover, I don't have the trainers. It does take effect and it does take time. But I think being that it was 2022, I think it's low risk, if you will. What did Zeke make? The same, right? Came in here and did not much. No disrespect last season, right? So I think Javonte Williams, to me, initially I'm like, dang, Puerto Rico, same thing. Like, not confirmed again, but in my mind, that lets me know what the direction that they're going in. I also think that the only reason why I'm not totally like Rico's gone is because he's not picked up yet, right? I think the Jordan Lewis went a lot faster than, because Cowboys were pretty prominent that they wanted him back and trying to, wasn't the priority because there's other things they had to take care of. But the fact that Rico hasn't been taken up, I think Rico wants to be the number one running back. I don't know where Rico's going to get that number one running back role. So with that being said, if his price goes down and hitting the market doesn't always work out. I've seen with other players, like I remember when I was covering Jordan Poyer, like there was so much hype that he was going to go and get paid. He did not, and he ended up staying. And it was like a surprise to everyone right at the end, right before the draft. But I think it's going to be interesting. Like I said, I'm a little biased because I remember like the hype. I've seen what he can do when he's healthy. Like Jess said, he's not completely 100%. Don't know if it was a scheme thing in Denver. Looking at the numbers last year, 513 yards, 4 touchdowns, 139 carries. I know it's not very exciting. The Cowboys haven't made the splash move yet, so maybe they do, but I think he could be a good 1-2 punch.
Go ahead.
I went back to listen to what Brian Schottenheimer had said, and he had said, this is, I like to say word for word, just so like nobody thinks. Okay. Anyways, he says you want a guy that's got vision. You want a guy that's got contact balance. Whether there's a free safety in the hole or there's a linebacker or defensive lineman coming off at the point of attack, you have to have a guy that's willing to run through the arm tackles. And I think it goes back to what you had mentioned. He's physical. He's a violent runner. And that's maybe something that caught the eye of Shotty. But comparing him to Rico, first off, the Broncos had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL last year. Bo Nix had the 5th highest time to throw, 3.03 seconds. Their pressure rate was 28.3%, and they were tied for 3rd, the least sacks allowed with 24. And he was still not able to run the ball effectively, in my opinion. Javonte Williams, you said it, Jess, 3.7 yards per carry. When you compare him to Rico Dowdle and the issues that the Cowboys had last year, which was quarterbacks, obviously with the injuries with Dak Prescott and the offensive line, injuries there as well, inconsistencies. And in 2024, Javonte Williams forced 0.125 missed tackles per attempt. Rico, 0.19 forced missed tackles per attempt. And that was with quarterback issues. So I just don't understand why you need to just keep Rico. I'm not going to lie to you. I think you would have been able to continuously build off of what he already did in 2024 rather than have to bring in someone who, yeah, he's younger, he's probably got fresher legs, but Rico's just had his best career at 26. So, like, why not just give him a chance to build off of that?
Yeah, I think they should keep them both.
Will they afford? Are they willing to pay for both of them? That's the question.
I mean,
Can they?
Javonte's not making enough to where I feel like signing Rico should be an issue, and then going and drafting another back. Number one, you're going to need guys in training camp, as you mentioned before, just anyway. But there is positivity in having different styles of runners as well. Because one thing that I think Rico Dowdle does fantastically, and again, going back to Clayton Adams and some of the things he likes to do, a running back that you can use in the passing game now is, to me, is a mismatch nightmare for defenses to deal with. And if you look within the draft and you look at the running back class, it's almost becoming a necessity that you have to have some type of receiving qualities as a running back. Rico Dowdle already has a natural feel for the screen game. He's already shown us that he can do some receiving things. Pairing him with a Javonte Williams, who is the bruiser, who is, a guy that is hard to bring down, runs with a lot of grit, I think will be beneficial. And then getting a youngin in here from the draft as well. You want some versatility in your running back room. But as far as with Javonte Williams, I mean, we talked about it. If he got injured in 2022, and he came back, 2023?
Yeah.
So last year was his first season back, or was that his second season back?
Second season.
Okay. Because for me, when I was looking at the Broncos and I'm looking at how they stylistically like to run the ball, this isn't a guy that has a lot of wiggle He is not super shifty. He is a downhill runner. And so I personally thought that the way that they were running the ball wasn't conducive to some of the things he does well. Also, too, with Bo Nix is a gunslinger. And you could tell that the Broncos were intentional with wanting to pass the ball more. Also, too, they're behind in a lot of games.
Yeah.
So we ain't got time
Can't
to
run.
be running the ball. So I wanted to take the time to look within the numbers and look within like what they like to do. I think that impeded on some of his stuff as well. I mean, being 2 years removed from an ACL, we know now that ACLs are not career enders for running backs anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to give him the opportunity to revive his career and revive the things that he does. But I really do think with the Broncos, there was they wanted to emphasize passing the ball. I feel like they saw that was what their bread was buttered. So yes, their offensive line is fantastic, but this wasn't, to me, what they were doing didn't fit him. But I will say he's not a guy that's going to break off a lot of long runs. He is just going to wear people down. And one thing that I am looking at is a lot of his power that he generates is from his lower half. He has very strong legs to be able to drive and run through contact. So with him coming off of an ACL, I want to see, he's been off the ACL, but I want to see if he still has that power in his legs to drag defenders, to fight through contact, to continue to fall forward. And then I think from there we can move forward and everything. But I want to see a little bit more of him and give him the chance.
Right.
I want them to have them both. Personally.
Well, that'd be nice.
I think that would be nice as well.
But realistically,
I think it depends what he's asking for.
But if Rico doesn't have much of a market,
I
like
don't
you
really
kinda
know if it's
saying.
money as much as it is time frame. Because if you're Rico, are you going to want to pick up a 1 or 2 year deal as compared to a maybe 3 year? Like, I think that could probably be an arguing point to what could be the issue. Not so much price, because you can argue like, hey, you only had 1 good year so far here. You know, you're not going to get as much money as you want, as much as it could be time frame and amount of time on the contract.
And does he want to be here?
That's a fact.
And does Rico want to be here? I mean,
I don't
that's a
know.
fact.
he's had a interesting experience, to say the least, being here. And
Yeah.
these guys have pride. They play with pride.
And to not offer it right away is
Yeah.
a big. I think that could have been the smooth it out, right? Like,
Look.
okay, we messed up last season. We played you a little bit with the running back committee, and you prove yourself, and you hit this mark, and you put on for the undrafted free agents, and we're gonna make you wait until closer to the draft so we can see what the boys look like.
After everything Rico has endured during his time as a Cowboy, and it even goes beyond that. You're talking injury after injury, getting a chance. Oh nope, just kidding, and just constantly, in a way, being led on, and that's just the reality of what his journey has been. And he broke out of the injury-prone kind of reputation that he had, and then he goes beyond that, does everything to make sure he's healthy. And to your point, Bree, he goes back and, running back by committee. Oh, Ezekiel Elliott's going to be your starting running back, when there was no production, and Rico was clearly should have been named your running back 1 from training camp. There's just been a lot of, I think, background politics that go into it. So to your point, yeah, does he want to be here? Would you?
It also makes me wonder now, like, even if Rico's not here, will they go with this running back by committee?
They should
approach when you
never do that again.
draft one?
They should never.
They shouldn't.
It doesn't work. I'm sorry. I don't care what team it is. I don't care who's on the roster. Just pick a running back, and that's your running back 1. Like, that's
fair.
It was, in my opinion, it was just too much nonsense back and forth when you could have been productive in figuring out how to get cohesiveness with your running game. Like, it was.
It's what you do when you don't have faith in your running back. So once Rico started to emerge, that's what the frustration was. Well, everybody could see who it is. When I say everybody gets a trophy, that's when you don't really know who the MVP is.
Yeah.
But once it's clear, you have to start, and it's a respect thing at the same time. So a lot of questions on the Rico thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he stays, but also wouldn't be,
Surprised if he went somewhere else.
It's 50-50 in my mind right now.
All right, let's switch over to the offensive lineman who was brought over here from the Miami Dolphins for a 1 year worth up to $4.75 million in 2024. He started off 17 games at left guard, allowed 5 sacks, 28 pressures on over 1,000 snaps, and he's also played right guard as well. So a bit of a flex guard there at that position. First thoughts, what do y'all think he can bring to this offensive line? Anybody?
Depth.
All right.
Depth, I mean, especially too with Hoffman battling for the starting center position, that does take that element of knowing that, you know, Hoffman can play right guard, left guard, things like that. That takes it out of it because I think he is going to be, I'm mixing up.
Yeah.
No, my bad.
It's not your
Hoffman is going to be starting at right guard.
It's fine. We got.
I mean, hey, you have a guy that can do both.
Yeah, I was about to
That's
say,
not a bad thing.
As of right now, he's starting at right guard. So you're just adding another depth piece that can be a swing. Obviously, you still have TJ Bass. He dealt with a quad injury last year. So I wonder how serious his quad injury was or what his rehab is like. I would like to know his timeline in reference to this. But I took a couple notes of a lot more film to watch on Robert Jones than some of these other guys. I said when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. He plays with good power with the initial contact. He has a pretty good latch and he seals pretty well. But the problem is the issues come in with the pressures when his feet are a little slow out of his stance, and that's where he has some issues as well. So hopefully this offensive line can work together and kind of maybe get his firing off the ball a little bit better. But he does play with some strength. That's really all that I have on him right now. I don't necessarily see like a starter right now, but I do see a depth piece that can come in and help you if necessary in a pinch, and obviously make sure there's still competition in that room. What you ladies got?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
Depth. And that's good.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
You need a depth
bodies.
You need yes. You see how quickly injuries can happen on the offensive line just in general, but to your point, I mean, it just gives good competition, good, healthy, friendly competition for right guard, which is so weird to say. Like, as covering the Cowboys, it's so weird to be like, oh, we don't have a solid right guard. That's so weird. Getting used to that. But yeah, I mean, he's interior depth, 1 year, $4.75 million. That's a good deal. Something else I wanted to point out too is without Chuma, I think Austin Richards becomes your swing tackle. That's something else I wanted to bring up.
I cited
and
that.
that's your guy because you've seen the progression and the growth within Austin Richards. So I kind of want to see how he fits into that too. Is maybe not just a swing. I mean, it's good O-line competition all around, really.
I think it's important with Awesome. Sorry, Bree. I think it's important with Awesome because I am looking for the Cowboys to show that they can develop mid-round talent and not just go to the top and rely on those top guys being those top guys. We've seen Austin Richards develop through this time, and if he's your swing, that's fine. But I also, too, I'm going to keep an eye out on if Dallas does continue and maybe bring in a tackle in free agency, because if they don't, I believe it's going to tell me a little bit about what they think about Nathan Thomas out of Louisiana, who did not get to play last year. I think he was dealing with some type of foot stress thing or something like that through the year. They put him on IR. They just said, hey, Birdie, take a seat. But when you looked at his college tape, I was impressed by him. I was impressed by his run blocking. I was impressed by his ability to get upfield. And so I'm really looking at, because tackle, you have interior depth now. I think that maybe that's enough. Unless they decide to go grab another person later in the draft, maybe that's enough. Tackle, because Terrence still can't miss a snap
At all.
Yeah.
Terrence still can't miss a snap. Left tackle was a rotating door, but we don't have a backup right tackle right now or anyone that can do that. Maybe it's Awesome, whatever the case may be.
Right
Want to
now
keep
it
an
has
eye
to be.
out on if they attack getting a tackle. I think I'll be looking for Nathan Thomas in training camp.
Do y'all think that
good
these
point.
two moves proves that the Cowboys are trying to run the football? With these two additions in Javonte Williams and Robert Jones, do you feel like that's kind of helping the narrative of Brian Schottenheimer's of they're trying to run the football effectively?
What you got? Breeze Bay?
Lister to ask the question.
Y'all know how I feel about running the ball, right? When we picked who stays, mine was Rico. So this conversation is interesting to me. I will say this. I know we haven't got to the defensive player that we've added in free agency. There's 3 total, right? These are all is this part of the selectively aggressive? I don't know, right? Because I still don't know what that means. But I will say these are all pieces who are not starters right off the bat. 2025.
No.
These are all added pieces. This is all depth, which you need when you are rebuilding a roster. I don't care what the Cowboys said last year. They were rebuilding and in denial. Now it's rebuilding from coaching staff to the roster. And honey, you need bodies, right? If we started a game today, you're looking at, in my opinion, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Brock Hoffman, Terrence Steele. This is a guy, when we're going back to Robert Jones, 17 games at left guard. He played right guard and in college right tackle. So to me, he can kind of get in where you fit in. Right. That's what I
missed
what
that.
I saw.
Thank you.
So that's the only thing I see of him. And also my favorite thing, who doesn't have to do a lot of when we're talking about reps, is the undrafted free agent road. 2021, that man had to work his tail off to get in the league and stay in the league and make that 53-man roster. And he's still here in the conversation in 2025. So to me, that is a story in itself. That tells me he's a guy that you want, and he's not going to make it worse. He might make it better just by those leadership and that work ethic. And I think with the young O-line-ish,
Getting a veteran in here.
that is going to help. And it's not expensive. Those two guys that we just talked about, $4 million, a little over $3 million. You just got two players for under $8 million.
All right, we're gonna take our first break.
Uh-huh.
We'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and we're gonna break down some additions and losses for the Cowboys defensively. Right after the break, we'll be right back.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy coffee that stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take your steak, cornbread, cobbers, pot pie, and potatoes, and next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
The first ever Lone Star Smokeout is coming to Arlington. Watch headliners John Party, Cody Jinks, Midland, and more at this 3-day outdoor country music festival. Plus, enjoy barbecue from some of the best pitmasters in the country. Get your tickets today at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
Boom, just like that. All right, let's get straight to it. The Cowboys have lost. Let's go ahead and cue the music. Jazzy. Cowboys have lost.
Do the accent.
The very own
Do the accent.
Jordan Lewis. We need to keep it going, Jazzy, because it's much needed.
Just keep it on repeat.
Jordan Lewis is now off to the Jacksonville Jaguars to be the highest paid nickel cornerback in the NFL.
As he should.
As he should. All right, but the Cowboys have added a new defensive tackle, Solomon Thomas, to a 2-year, $8 million deal. He is a former Jets defensive tackle, obviously has a relationship with Aaron Whitecotton, former player under him. Talking about this new addition, Cowboys needed depth at defensive tackle. We talked about it on the show plenty of times. What does this new addition mean, ladies? I'll start with Aisha.
Well, first of all, they love bringing people back to Texas.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, you from here?
Stop.
We seen you at Dallas Day 10 years ago. Come on down.
Bring it back.
Dallas State
Why?
10 years ago.
Y'all are sick.
I'm joking.
Funny.
She's
No.
that good.
I mean, so the sentiment, I saw some people were excited about this pick, and as someone that looked in the same camera and said, you ain't got no DTs, I mean, go ahead and do what you do and add to there as much as you can. But another rotational piece, what I'm trying to figure out is where he lines up. Seen him line up inside, seen him line up outside. I think he's more of a 3-tech. I think he does more of Osa-esque type things, and not Osa.
Yeah, no.
But the pass rushing ability is what I think is his bread and butter. He's less of a 1-tech. I don't think he has a very strong anchor. I would not be asking this man to take on double teams consistently and thinking that he's going to be able to hold them consistently. He is someone that I think is going to be able to get upfield, be a little disruptive on twists, stunts, things like that. A lot of good feedback on his character. It sounds like he's a high character person. So again, you're adding another veteran to the locker room that is linked into the community. Obviously, I know you're going to talk about it a little bit more, Jess. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I am still curious as to how things are going to work out. But, I wouldn't be looking for him to back up Mozzie more so than what he would be backing up Oso Digizua, put it like that. Still need a big body in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's always been knocked for his size, too.
Yeah.
He's smaller.
There you go,
Smaller
body
guy.
rolling on TV.
Oh,
That part.
there he is. Look. Smaller for a DT. And so, yeah, to your point, the anchor just is not as sturdy as a bigger guy would be. But, I mean, look. Anytime you can get depth, we were just talking about that, that's a good thing. And veteran depth, especially if you don't know what's happening with Tank yet, you're going to need that veteran presence in the D-line room, truly. And I think the way he goes about being a leader, from what I've seen discussed about him from former teammates or just press that would cover him, he's a good addition to have to that locker room. Y'all know I love me some outside things and what they're doing outside on the field. So him and Dak Prescott actually have partnered before for mental health awareness and suicide awareness. So I tweeted this earlier. I wouldn't be surprised seeing him out in the DFW communities. He went to Coppell High School, which is about 20 minutes away from here. Yep. So to your point, they love themselves a little hometown story, but it was cool to see his Instagram post.
Oh, he's happy.
He and his family were calling it a full circle moment. They manifested this. He wanted this. So anytime you get a player that wants to be here, come on in. Come on in, because you're taking on a bigger load wearing that star than you are any other NFL team. So if you're prepared for that and you're ready, I think he's a solid addition. So I'm interested to see the rotation.
Saying New York, baby.
Yeah, I meant to run some of the numbers. Do you
Don't
have
talk about New
some
York.
stats on him?
I mean, just really what you guys were saying. I mean, I said it before we took the break. These are all additional pieces. When I look at him, it was nothing elite. Love the character, love what he brings to the locker room. But what I said last week is what the Cowboys were going to do is they were going to get former high draft picks that didn't work out for other teams. So this is a man who went to San Francisco, played 4 seasons, and never reached that highest potential that he came out as former 3rd overall for 2017, I believe, and just didn't live up to the hype. Did a year in Vegas, but he is coming off his best, who just happens to be the now Cowboys defensive lineman. So he does have that relationship with Aaron. White Cotton?
White Cotton.
Aaron White Cotton.
Okay, I gotta practice this.
Fine.
We're all getting used
But
to it. Right?
exactly, so that's a lot of new names.
A lot of new stuff going on.
But yeah, I mean the familiarity there. You love what he brings. The veteran. He's not new. To your point, as soon as I saw it, I'm like, okay, this gives Osa a break. This isn't someone who's bringing what Osa brings, but it gives him a break. Who's going to keep it afloat, not do too much damage until he comes back in. That's how I see it.
And then it's big also too with the. I'm sure we're gonna get to with the loss of Chauncey Golston, who did also do some things.
Check on her.
Who's to people's standards undersized for a 3-tech type person, interior person. I think it also too kind of shores that up in that regard, yeah.
It could also, I just think ahead in terms of future for these players. If you have somebody rotating, like a rotational piece out for Osa, that could extend the longevity of his career and his health as well. So I always like that depth rotational piece where, yeah, you're not going to see Osa type things, but you are going to be able to see Osa kind of get a break if he needs to, and that comes in handy later on in the season. If you're talking playoffs, you need health. It keeps everybody healthy and just more able to play later on down the road.
Absolutely.
What do you feel like? Okay, let's start with Solomon. Who do you feel like the winners? Can I not talk today?
You can do it.
The winner is for this specific move. Do you feel like the Cowboys won or lost with getting Solomon Thomas? We don't know yet officially because, of course, he hasn't stepped foot on the field.
Ask me
But
in week 6.
don't do that.
How week 6?
Let me see.
Just based off what he's bringing as of right now. What do you feel like the Cowboys won or lost with this move?
Yeah, I'm going to call it a win.
Okay.
Like I just said, if you can keep Osa as healthy as possible, you protect him. That is your shining star right now on your D-line. You need to do whatever you can to protect him, get him depth, get him rotational pieces, and also, you need a veteran presence in that room. Yes, Osa is there, and he's kind of going to become that, but you need one of those vocal leaders, especially if you're not going to have Tank in that room anymore. It's not a bad thing. I'm going to say it's a win. And I like the mental health advocacy as well.
Can
Cherry
I
on
cheat?
top.
Yeah, you can. Wait, hold up. No.
How are you cheating?
Today you said yes. I heard.
No.
You say yes?
No. You
Cheat.
can't cheat.
Cheat.
I'm cheating. It's a win because you have Aaron White-Cotton.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
not
cheating.
I'm saying that because I think we've seen with Aaron White-Cotton's time. I mean, you mentioned, Bree, that Solomon had his best year under him. I think when you look at the Jets defensive line and the way that they played ball, he got the best out of them. And let me tell you something. And they were on the field a lot with that offense. And for them to perform, I think there was a bit of a drop off last year, but the years prior, that Jets defensive line was one to be reckoned with. And that coaching, I think, getting a coach in here that knows how to pour into different positions, but also, too, you see an uptick in all of these guys play, the guys that are under him. I think that's where you win, and that will help Solomon win.
I think that's what he talked about. He gets the passion out of those guys.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of plays a
Culture.
I cheated.
Got to build the
cheat.
culture.
That was about,
cheated.
Oh, my God.
Oh, okay. We're
Girl.
going there. All right.
No, not like that,
I'm
y'all.
kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
no.
Javonte Williams, do y'all think the Cowboys won or lost with that move?
I think this might be the biggest win of the
Me too.
first day of
I think
free
it's the
agency.
win.
I'm not down on this signing.
Okay.
I think he got something to him. I think it's a win if you can sign back Rico, or go get a nugget and pair him with him.
That can instantly come in and make an impact. Not just no nugget that can.
Yes.
A nugget that's
I
good.
agree.
There we go.
In this moment, the running back room didn't get worse. That's how I'm looking at
That's
it.
fair.
That's fair.
Well, we don't know that, though. Because
I know he's better than Dalvin Cook.
But if you had Rico, I'm not even going to argue. I'm not going to argue about it. I got to see. I got to see more TBD. Because also, you don't know what this offense looks like right now. So what I'm basing off in my head is a Mike McCarthy offense, which should not look the same as a shoddy offense. So I don't know. You don't even know if the run game is going to be what we think it's going to be because we've heard that for 2-3 years that the run game was going to get going and it didn't. So I don't know.
I have some
TBD.
I have some optimism about Clayton Adams.
Same.
TBD.
There was one first rounder on that Cardinals offensive line, one of the most efficient offensive lines. I think he'll figure out ways to get him involved, but also two guys, the Broncos, y'all, like we talking about the Broncos like they haven't been. Bo Nix has revived them a little bit, but that offense, that team has been in limbo for some years now. So him getting a change of scenery, I'm a couple of the games that I watched from him, I was like, oh, okay, there he is.
It's a win.
Yeah, I think it's a win.
Yeah.
I think it's a win.
Robert Jones.
Huh?
Depth is a win. Depth is a win.
I'm sick.
We love depth. Depth is a win.
No, I'm not saying
Depth is a win.
I didn't say that.
Robert Jones.
Depth is a luxury. It's a win.
All right, on that note, we're going to take our second break of Girls Talk, Boys Talk, and we'll be right back. We have a special tribute coming up after the break. You might want to stick tuned because it's going to be special. All right, we'll be right back.
What did you do?
I'm not sure.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Do it for confidence on and off the field. Do it for you. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Don't wait. Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
How do you tell the world about all the great gifts in the Yeti store? Let her rip, Troy.
All right, folks, let's get started with the Yeti French Press. Enjoy Calvin. This stays hot for hours in a French press. 34 ounce for you, 6'4" for the cruise. The Yeti French Press. Hot mix waterproof bags. Bags waterproof. Submersible waterproof doubles. Waterproof bags. World's mostly water, so get a waterproof Yeti bag. Do I smell something cooking? Oh, new cast iron skillets made to be passed down like Mama's recipes. Take a steak, cornbread, cobbler's pot pie, and potatoes next level with 3 sizes of Yeti cast iron skillets.
Gear, gifts, and product experts. Visit the Yeti store on McKinney Street and at South Lake Town Square today.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Upgrade your Cowboys wardrobe with the freshest gear in the game. Stop by a pro shop near you, or you can shop online at shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience.
You got the freshest gear in the game. We had the freshest wedding last weekend. We could not close the show without not giving an awesome tribute to our lovely former Girls Talk Boys Talk host and now CBS headquarters star Haley Sutton over there. Just got married to the love of her life.
Yes.
Can we talk about Haley looking freaking phenomenal this weekend?
Yes.
The hair, the makeup, the dress, all of it.
Everything.
Our queen.
Our queen got married to her love, Marcel. Yeah, I mean, they make a beautiful couple, ladies.
They do.
They put the
fire.
empowered couple.
You know what kind of couple they are?
They put the what?
Empower couple.
You gotta say it with some more.
They put the empower couple.
There we go.
You know what kind of couple they are? Is you see them, you're like, you're so grossly in love. You're so grossly in love. It's cute.
Great.
But like, we love that for them. Happy for them. They get their little fairy tale storybook ending.
Yes, it was beautiful. Never been to Miami before. It was a lot of honking, lots of sun.
Man,
we enjoyed.
We was sweating, but it's all right because it was worth it.
We enjoyed it.
Absolutely worth it. Their vows were beautiful. Getting to hear them just talk about their love story was pretty freaking awesome. Goals.
Yeah.
Right.
For all of us. I
Literally
love that.
goals.
All right. Real fast before we close the show. Ladies. All right. Now the Cowboys still have quite a few needs. Cornerback, defensive end, running back, hopefully the draft, or obviously bring back Rico Dowdle. Linebacker, wide receiver. Which one are you starting with first in this draft?
Starting with first?
Yeah, which one are you going? Which position?
Draft
are you
or free
drafting?
agency?
Drafting.
Oh, why are you doing that to me?
Which are you drafting first, my ladies?
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone, you gotta choose. Y'all cheating.
It depends who's available. That's my thing. Like if I had,
I'm going BPA.
Yeah.
And I ain't being stingy.
Yep.
I'm not even mad they draft a corner.
Yeah, I would love to see a corner. I would love to see a corner.
You understand me?
I'd love it.
Now that what I've seen unfold, it's
I would love it.
It's a need that's a need that's a need that's a need. And you don't want to be drafting for needs, so I thought they need to do something. They need to do something in free agency.
You know what they need to do? Sign Micah Parsons so you have more leeway and money.
Yeah, wouldn't it free up like $7 million, I believe? I think.
I want to go.
Maz is not.
I want to go skill position. No, I do. Either whether that's defense, I wouldn't mind them picking up a defensive player, but I'm also looking at. I think the offensive side of the ball is a little bit more shored up. There's a little bit less uncertainty there. I would like a running back. I would like a wide receiver. Please, Lord. But the defensive side, baby, is starting to look weary.
Yeah.
Somebody do something.
It's real scary out there right now.
Somebody do something.
Just
like
with the stick.
Yeah.
The injuries at the linebacker position, you do have your safeties. I like that they brought back Wanye and Marquise Bell.
Yes.
But the corner position, baby, Deron
Scary.
Bland is gonna be standing there like Will Smith in that one episode when the last episode where all the furniture was gone. They gotta do something.
Oh my God.
I'm sick of you.
Girl.
The door. On that note, this is what show, ladies. We're going to wrap things up here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. For Aisha Morris and Jess Tavares, Brianna Aldridge, I'm Nicole Hutchison, and we'll see y'all back here next week.
Yeah, man. This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!